Puja to all of you who are assembled here to celebrate His holiness. Radha Gopinath Prabhu, who's the temple president of Iskcon Brampton, has to be out of town due to an unavoidable personal commitment. So I'm just going to read what he sent and then add a few of mine. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept our humble obeisances unto your lotus feet, the most glorious day of your Vyasa Puja. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. Maharaj, you are Srila Prabhupada's true warrior, reclaiming thousands and thousands of fallen souls to Krishna consciousness. In spite of many health issues, you never fail to serve Srila Prabhupada and this mission. Maharaj, you're a living inspiration to me. Maharaj, I'm not fortunate enough to have your darshan in person, but I always get your blessings via your very own soldiers, His Grace Sanatan Sevak Prabhu and her Grace Kamala Gopi Mataji. I pray at the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Giridhari and on National Day to always keep you in good health so you can continue to serve Srila Prabhupada and shower your costless mercy to all fallen souls. Maharaj, please bless me and the council members so that we can serve each and every member of Iskcon Brampton congregation and Srila Prabhupada's mission. Please shower your blessings on IP congregation so that we can progress in Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much. Your humble servant, Radha Gopinath Das, on behalf of Iskcon Brampton Council and Iskcon Brampton family. So this is Radha Gopinath Prabhu's message. The first time I also had, I was fortunate, we were fortunate to get an association of Maharaj. Our first glance of Maharaj was at Muscat, at the Krishna temple. We had gone there with our friends and our plan was to go to the movies after that. After we had finished our darshan and came out, one of the devotees came to approached us and said, His Holiness H.H.Jayapataka Maharaj is in the temple, please join us. So we were like, spirituality was calling us on one side, movies on the other side. So we were thinking, we'll go lean more towards the movies. So we just thought, just in case, just to please the Mataji, we'll just go in and glance. So we went in and we had a glance of His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, and he looked at us as well. And here I'm here today in front of all of you, glorifying Maharaj, just to show that, Uttamadhikaris, they don't have to even preach to us. A single glance of theirs is good enough to bring changes in our lives and bring us to the right path. Maharaj's qualities are innumerable, we all know that, and we are going to hear a lot more. We heard as well. I just want to highlight a few of his qualities. On that day when we went to the temple program, we saw his cheerful and enthusiastic kirtan, which we all know he's so famous for. And his joy in distributing Krishna Prasadam tirelessly, however long the line is used to, he just keeps on going and going. But my favorite is his commitment to establishing relationships. Prabhu was also speaking about how he came to him to ask any seva that he could do. The same thing happened with the good fortune of Kamala Gopi Mataji and Sanatan Prabhu. We had a chance to serve His Holiness at their house. So I was helping out with cooking seva. And so one time, like on the second day of his stay, I saw Maharaj coming down the stairs. He looked at me and he said, I'm very grateful that you're doing the cooking seva. And I was like, really taken back. And I said, Maharaj, that's so insignificant. And then he asked me, what's your mother tongue? I said, Tamil, Maharaj. And he said, I know Tamil. And then he said, Mini Mini Puchi, which actually means firefly. So he said, Mini Mini Puchi. And this really shows that Maharaj just goes out of his way. It doesn't matter who you are, just goes on committed to establish the relationship so that stays in you and he brings about those changes so that he could fulfill Srila Prabhupada's mission of bringing more people into this Krishna consciousness. And again, as everyone highlighted, his dedication and unstoppable nature, in spite of his health, to continue to bring people like us into Krishna consciousness. And finally, his compassion to distribute spiritual knowledge to one and all, to everyone that he's come in contact with. Now, we have taken few trips to Vrindavan and Mayapur, but anywhere we go, we usually have a spiritual guide, and in good fortune, all of these guides who are so knowledgeable are all Maharaj's disciples. They all have so much knowledge about these dhams, and they just keep on giving us this knowledge. So a selfless attitude of Maharaj is just spread, and is now spread through his devotees, and we see that in Iskcon Brampton too. All of his disciples are selflessly serving our congregation, and they are such an inspiration for us all to follow. So on this auspicious occasion of Vyasa Puja, we seek for Maharaj's blessing so that we can continue to serve in Srila Prabhupada's mission. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for the beautiful offering. Next we'll have Padmakshi Radha Mataji, who will be reading the offering on behalf of Iskcon Scarborough.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Namo I'm not going to say anything different from what others have mentioned. Glorious, glorious. And on this blessed day, we celebrate your auspicious appearance in this material world, dear Guru Maharaj. Please bless us all with all your love as always you've been doing. I just came across this excerpt in when I was reading about Maharaj, and it was just mind-blowing the way, in spite of being such an integral part of Iskcon, Maharaj is a very simple-minded, down-to-earth person. So it was like this: why a question was asked to Maharaj, why a disciple has to write Vyasa Puja homage to spiritual master? And Guru Maharaj's answer was, I don't think you have to write a Vyasa Puja offering or homage. I was like, what? That was the very first line Maharaj said. And then he then proceeded further to say, he said, you can speak it out. But some people would rather write it just like me, and because they feel indebted to their guru. And so he said it's completely voluntary, so there's no obligation on your part to, really say, to offer a homage. Then he said something like, nobody is beating you with a stick. And then he added, which reminds me that I have to send my homage still to Srila Prabhupada. And he was like, ha! I just thought it was how unique and how he could imbibe, comedy or humor into anything he says. And then he said, this was done in Mayapur on 3rd April. And so I just thought that was a very, very, very fantastic example of how a practical approach Maharaj had to anything in his life. So we at Iskcon Scarborough are very indebted to Guru Maharaj for mentoring and guiding us in many of our activities, and through his speeches and emphasizing the performance of spiritual sadhana and seva. He gave importance to both equally. And we cannot have a better acharya than our dearmost Guru Maharaj. And even we chant that every day in our mantra, Gaura Kadamana, wait, before that, Nitai Prema, what's it? No, I have to start from the beginning. Namo Acharya Padaya, because an acharya is always very distinct and unique from a guru, right? So he's really walked all of us by his very true example. And Maharaj'S, we at Iskcon, we are constantly seeking your blessings and guidance to progress in the spiritual journey. And to that end, we at Iskcon Scarborough have spearheaded many initiatives which will bring joy to you, Maharaj. It's just a very small initiative that we have been taking part of. Like, it's the regular thing like the book distribution, our regular Sunday Love for All feast, our monthly Bhagavad which is like a multimedia presentation, where we try to educate common people like me in the holy scriptures of Tamil Purana like Bhagavatam. And we have also been performing different homas like the havans, which include like the Simantanayana Homa, the Kalyana Homa, the Sudarshana Homa. Recently we performed the Gauranga Homa, which was so successful under your guidance. And not to mention the least the Rath Chariot Festival and the children's classes, education classes, which are all going very successfully. We are doing all this only to please Guru Maharaj and to seek his blessings, and it has all been very appreciated by our community as well. So we plead for Maharaj's guidance and blessings as always. And just this morning, I received this wonderful instruction from my friend. I'm pretty sure most of you know. Oops. Sorry. I received this wonderful message. Oh my God, please. Seriously? I don't know. Well, I can read that anyways, because it was sent by Woman Pujita Mataji and Nandasuta Prabhu who are witnessing the Vyasa Puja in Vrindavan. And it was like 5 instructions which Guru Maharaj had said, and my phone failed me, so nice.
We will share them at the end.
Oh my God, thank you so much. See a friend in me. That's my God sister. Oh my God, Mother.
Share it at the end.
At the end, okay,
Yeah,
fine.
if that's
fine.
just
So all praise to Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So much ecstasy.
Next we'll have Sudarshan Gopal Prabhu reading the offering on behalf of Iskcon Stouville.
So everybody is voicing what Stouville is. Stouville is a city, it's a small township north of Markham. It's a recently opened center. So we seek blessings from all centers in Toronto to help us develop. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namini Nama Acharya Padaya Nitya Krupa Pradayani Gaurakata Damodaya Nagara Gramatayani Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone, please accept my humble obeisances. Please accept my humble obeisances with all the brothers of Sri Prabhupada. I'm reading this on behalf of Iskcon Stouville, the management and the congregation. Dear beloved Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, we offer our respectful obeisances unto your lotus feet. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. On this glorious occasion of your appearance day, we feel incredibly fortunate to offer your lotus feet with this humble Vyasa Puja offering. Although we are not qualified to do so, we want to express our eternal gratitude to you for protecting us from the decay of the material existence and for consistently inspiring us to follow the path of Krishna consciousness. The real purpose of life is to understand and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, and you give us the hope that we will be able to fulfill that purpose. Without the mercy and blessings of the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas, we cannot advance in the spiritual path. You always stand out as a shining example of how to perform bhakti in the face of obstacles, whatever the circumstances may be, Adidaivika, Adhyatmika, Adibhautika. You have consistently served as an example for many lost souls like us. Dear Maharaj, your grace is the personification of the verse in SB 8.7.44. tapyante lokatapena sadhava prayasho janaha paramadhanam tadhi purushasyakhyaatmanaha. Translation, quote, "It is said that great personalities almost always accept voluntary suffering because of the suffering of people in general. This is considered the highest method of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is present in everyone's heart." Unquote. In his transcendental purport, Srila Prabhupada quotes from Bhagavad Gita 18.69, "Nachatasman manusheshu kaschin me priya kritamaha." Quote, "One who preaches the message of Bhagavad Gita to my devotees is most dear to me. No one can exceed him in satisfying me by worship. There are different kinds of welfare activities in this material world, but the supreme welfare activity is the spreading of Krishna consciousness." Unquote. Maharaj, you have lived out this tenet to the fullest, and you are continuing to inspire thousands of devotees to pursue this path. We at Iskcon Stouville continually draw motivation and blessings from you to spread the glories of Lord Krishna and Chaitanya. We have a small center, and every Sunday we have the Sunday Love Feast program. The program has drawn considerable attention from the neighborhood residents. In addition to this, we have a Sunday school for children. With almost 30 kids of various age, this is also growing. Vedic knowledge is being taught to kids by teachers with great joy. Although, modestly, we are also engaged in the book distribution. We had begun the Bhakti Viksha program, but due to COVID and other logistical problems, we were unable to continue. Nevertheless, we are very optimistic about pursuing it because we are completely taking shelter of your lotus feet. We need your boundless mercy to carry out these activities because we are truly convinced of our absolute inability to do them. We are very confident that you will be very pleased if we engage in the service of Lord Chaitanya, even if we do so erratically. If you are pleased, then Srila Prabhupada will be pleased, and in turn Lord Chaitanya and Radha Krishna will be pleased. This is the hope of our lives, and we are confident that it will manifest if we follow your instructions. Again and again, we beg for your incessant mercy so that we may continue serving the grand mission of Srila Prabhupada to the best of our ability. I pray to Sri Radha Madhav for your health and well-being so that you may continue playing a vital role in Srila Prabhupada's Hare Krishna movement and bring millions of people in pure devotional service from all over the world. Your insignificant servants, Paripurna Krishnadas, Pitambar Das, Radha Govind Haridas, on behalf of Iskcon Stouville. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sudarshan Gopal Prabhu, for such a nice offering. Before we proceed, there's a quick announcement. There is a Mercedes-Benz CD 8466, the